You want me to put that on my todger?
This One's Wife, the Sussex streaming service, word salad, ahoy.
Hello, this is the Sussex streaming service. I'm very important. Harry, bring me one of those old laddies and my slippers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sussex streaming service with me, the Duchess of Delusion. I'm first going to tell you what exciting things I'm wearing and how much they cost.
Could you imagine the banal nonsense that the Sussex streaming service would spew out? An atrocious assault upon the ears as a consequence of listening to the banal outpourings of the daily doings of the Duchess of Industrial Beige. Think it might happen? Think it won't happen? Well, listen to this. Scarlett O'Toole writes in the Mirror and tells us, "This One's Wife and Prince Harry are less than a year away from the end of the Netflix partnership, with one expert encouraging them to substantially lower their fee to see the deal renewed." Are you mad? What are you doing encouraging them to renew the deal? We want them to fuck off. We don't want to have to listen or see more of their errant nonsense and abject loser behaviour. Good Lord. Don't advise them to do something that might cause it to be renewed. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, in case you'd forgotten, signed a 5-year, $100 million deal with the streaming giant back in 2020. But it's yet to be announced if the contract will be getting renewed when it comes to an end next year. It's quite interesting, isn't it, that given the fact that this deal ends in 2025, we've only just put a toe into 2024, but there are all of these outlets getting exciting, drooling over the potential of non-renewal. PR expert Ryan McCormick said there are a number of things Netflix will have to consider. Speaking exclusively to the Mirror, he said, "Harry and This One's Wife Netflix documentary was the highest viewed documentary premiere for the streaming platform. However, according to Statista, the 2022 series has seen a precipitous drop with each subsequent episode. In addition, the series has a 19% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes." We all know why it was the highest viewed documentary: grudge watching. And then as people realised that it was just a load of self-indulgent pap, they became bored and switched off. The Sussexes caused a storm of controversy with their docuseries titled Harry and This One's Wife, in which they hit out at various members of the royal family. Harry detailed the breakdown of his relationship with his brother Prince William and claimed he left him terrified after he screamed and shouted at him during the Sandringham summit. Harry also alleged members of Kensington Palace had then lied to protect my brother. The Duke of Sussex also took aim at his dad, King Charles, and discussed the tense Megxit crisis meeting held with the Queen in January 2022. Ryan said Netflix will have to consider if they are getting a healthy return for the amount of money they have paid This One's Wife and Harry. This will then help the streaming service to decide whether to renew the partnership. The expert added, "My prediction is that as of now, Netflix will not even consider renewing their engagement with This One's Wife and Harry, unless they agree to substantially lower their fee and guarantee a number of shows. The fact that Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos was rolling over with laughter as Joe Coy roasted this one's wife at the Golden Globes is not a good sign. Pausing there, I would suggest that not even the fact of them offering to lower their fee and guarantee a number of shows would necessarily attract Netflix. You've got to decide, what are you going to provide us with? You're a pair of muppets. You can't produce yourself a way out of a paper bag. So how are you going to come up with hit concepts and shows? Harry, we've heard all about your shitty ideas with regard to interviewing Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin about childhood trauma. You're a fucking quarter-wit. And as for you, this one's wife, you're lazy. You produce a square root of fuck all. You guarantee a number of shows. What have we seen so far? A whinge fest? A cancelled thing about a pearl? And now we've had to buy the rights to a novel. Where are you with that? The fact is, there are better opportunities, less expensive opportunities elsewhere with regard to superior content and more reliable individuals that they could contract with. Even though them offering to lower their fee and guarantee a number of shows, to my mind, doesn't mean that you're going to end up with anything that's workable or valuable. People are sick and tired of the Sussexes. They're only interested in their demise, which Netflix could hasten by not renewing the deal. People don't want to know what they've got to say. People don't want to know about what they're doing other than to ridicule them for it. And therefore, in the circumstances, it is the case that they are not able to offer anything. They're not charismatic, scintillating characters. It's not like the Beckhams, whereby the series that they did, people found interesting. They got to know more about those two individuals. Yes, there are people who don't like the Beckhams as well as people who do like them. But people still found it interesting, and it actually endeared them to more people, which was exactly the opposite effect that the Harry and This One's Wife docuseries had. The PR expert continues by explaining, between troubles at Netflix and the fact that Harry and This One's Wife's high-profile Spotify deal collapsed, the stench of failure is growing stronger. Offering some advice to the Sussexes, Ryan said, "If I was advising Harry and This One's Wife, I would tell them to take a professional course in grovelling to save their relationship with Netflix." Well, we all know that's not going to happen. This One's Wife doesn't grovel to anybody. People must grovel to her. She is the superior being. Once that ship officially sails, Harry and This One's Wife should not expect other high-profile media companies to roll out the red carpet for them based on their track record. Yes, but you're dealing with a narcissist, and she will expect it. If Harry and This One's Wife don't secure a renewal of their Netflix deal, Ryan said there are other ways they can make money. If the duo can't sign a deal, I think the best way for them to generate revenue is to do a series of public speaking engagements and start their own streaming service through their website. They can also start doing meet and greets at fan conventions, he suggested. Have you taken leave of your senses, man? Could you imagine these two doing that? A series of public speaking engagements. They are the dullest public speakers on the planet. Harry does okay, so long as someone sensible writes it for him. But her, good Lord, she's awful. She naturally has to write what she wants to say because she thinks she's really interesting. The Bridgewater whole fiasco, as I repeatedly say, it would have sent a glass eye to sleep. There were people saying, put me in a coma. It's better than listening to this dross. Please, somebody cement my ears shut so I don't have to listen to this dirge that's coming out of her mouth. She's awful, boring, bland and beige. She can't even time things properly. Pauses, expecting a laugh and none comes. Has to flood the audience with people who are instructed to cheer and holler and laugh because she can't generate it herself. She's an appalling public speaker. Who in their right mind would ever engage them in that regard? And as for a streaming service, they're lazy. You could imagine, couldn't you, that they set up a streaming service and it's a scheduled live stream to take place, and all you're facing is a blank screen and not hearing anything. And that perhaps there's some poor underling who's there having to fill in with some jokes because Harry's spliffed out of his box in the garden and doesn't even know where to find the studio. And this one's wife's probably still lying around in bed. They're lazy, grifting fuckers. They're not going to get on with a streaming service. What are they going to tell us about? Harry's not got any interesting revelations to make about not flying helicopters. And as for her, she doesn't do anything. What are we going to get? Some fascinating bon mots from when she was an actress on Suits? Again? No. And then meet and greets at fan conventions. Oh, how hilarious that would be. Could you imagine them putting up a stand and she's there with glossy photographs of herself looking all sultry, etc., that she's willing to sign with copies of The Bench of Stench, and if she's done a memoir by then, that she would turn up at a fan convention. She's going to get tomatoed. More people are going to go, fuck off, I'm not speaking to you. You're just a grifting twat. In actual fact, this one's wife wouldn't do it because she sees it as beneath her. The fact is, what this PR expert doesn't realise is this one's wife would like the public speaking engagements for a big fat fee. Yeah. A streaming service, if somebody did everything for her, yes. But if it means some hard work on her part, ain't going to happen. And as for meets and greets at fan conventions, she would want to meet people a la political rally, not falling so low as to sort of be sat there at a stall with people coming up to them. She would see that beneath her. No. What's more likely to happen is she gets rid of Harry and tries and ensnares a billionaire by some means. That's what she'll do. That's less hard work for her. But those are the observations about a potential Sussex streaming service, and it certainly amused me. What do you think they'll come up with in order to try and make some money next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.